Do apologize. Obviously, we're out of our normal setting right now. The house is a little bit busy, but we're going to be talking about Matt Boldy and his extension with the Minnesota Wild. And let's get into it. This is a player that was viewed as a talented guy. He was drafted in the first round of the 2019 draft by the Minnesota Wild. Had a very, very impressive rookie season. 39 points, 15 goals, 24 assists in just 47 games played. Had some things gone his way. You're probably looking at him averaging over a point per game as a rookie. Insane stuff. And this year, he is still putting up impressive stats. 12 goals and 17 assists for 29 points in 42 games played. And I think the deal is big. Why do I think it's big? Well, because Boldy was becoming a RFA in the summer, according to TSN. He is 21 years old actually, excuse me, and clearly has had a lot of people notice him, in the past year or so. He has been able to make a name for himself and to get out there among the NHL community, which is why Minnesota probably decided to lock him up. Yeah, maybe some teams would have tried to get him as an RFA. I know things can kind of get to be tough right around there, but at the end of the day, Minnesota really just wanted to make sure they got their guy. What does he provide for Minnesota? He provides him with youth, which is good for really any team, as this is going to be something that, if he's able to stay in the long term, is years upon years of probably good hockey, which really, for every team, that is the dream, right? You don't want to have this roster that is the oldest roster in the league unless you're contending and winning Stanley Cups. And for them, they're getting a guy that is, younger than me. I'm about to turn 23. He'll turn 22 as well relatively soon. But he's still younger than me, and he's going to be on a 7-year deal. He is also a guy that really dominates opposing teams when it comes to Corsi for percentage, shots for percentage, scoring chance for percentage, high danger chance for percentage. All I'm basically trying to tell you is that when he's out on the ice, they are probably going to outchance and probably going to dominate the opposing team. Actually, this year he has been out on the ice. They've outscored teams 51-23. I'd say that Boldy has been part of some successful play there. Another thing is he could provide chemistry with Kirill Kaprizov. Now, Kaprizov is a guy that's made a name for himself early on. The young Russian has, really just lit the world on fire, is one of the future up-and-coming stars in this league and has been able to get the bag. Of course, signing that extension where he's going to be getting something like, $9 million per season. No one has played more time with Kaprizov than Boldy on the power play, or I should say that nobody has played more time with Boldy on the power play than Kaprizov. So if they can really click and get this power play into that top 10 every year, maybe they have a really good year with their top 5, that would be really good for the team. And I think, with these guys being there for a long time, that would be good for the franchise, especially come playoff time. I think another thing is when he's able to score here, he just has an effortless shot. You look at the wrist shot, you look at just how smooth everything is. It almost looks like, he's just going through butter, hot butter. And if he's able to get that goal scoring going for him, maybe a guy that can get 30 goals in a season, maybe more. I don't know. It's so early in his career. But I'd have to say that the Wild probably just, could have landed a jackpot here. And of course, they have growth, which is a big part of this and what they're getting with him. If he is able to continue to grow and able to thrive with Kaprizov, you're looking at this Wild team that, they have had some financial issues from some guys they moved on from, but they still are in a decent spot as of right now to compete in the Central Division. Maybe, in a few years they'll have a harder time when other teams are on their way up. But, Nashville, St. Louis, there's some questions about their future. Winnipeg, they've got some guys that are a little bit older as well. So it's kind of my thinking that if they are able to keep this group together and not make any deals that are just really bad, that maybe, just maybe, Minnesota could be in a great spot to contend for this division in the coming years. Having said that, though, is this deal worth it? Do I look at this contract and say, I had to sign that deal if I'm the Wild? For me, I'm gonna say yes for now. I hate these long deals, but the money is not going to be bad with the cap rising, and you also have to think he has provided good defense for them. I could look more into his defensive numbers. I wanted to get the video out relatively quickly when I saw the news, but really looking at his career early on, outside of really one side of the low slot, they've been able to keep slot shots out of the way when Boldy's been out on the ice, which is good because if they're able to outscore teams and then limit slot shots, you're going to be in a great spot to succeed. I would have to say early on, this is a win. I don't exactly know because things can turn on a head really quick in the NHL, in the sports world in general, but I would have to say for the Minnesota Wild, good job getting a great young player like him re-signed and extended, with this franchise for the long term. What are your thoughts on the Boldy extension? Do you think this was a good idea for them, and do you think that Boldy will end up continuing to get better? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Also, I apologize. Again, not the normal area I film, but kind of busy today. Everybody stay safe, have a great night, and Eagle of Hockey, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.